him. Now, I can just see him through the bushes straight in front, and the way that he was moving to me means he's going to come across here. So everyone will get to see him nicely. Thank you so much for your patience and for sticking with me through that little bit of boondu bashing. Here he comes. Slowly but surely. Now, for those of you that might be joining us for the first time, Hosana is a young male. I believe he's just under 2 years old. He has not set up a territory yet. Chitwa Dam and Twin Dams and a few other areas that we traverse regularly are some of his favorite haunts. You can see his pink little nose, and the fact that he does not have a dewlap, which is a very thick skin underneath, means that he is not an old male, he's a young one. I know Tristan was talking about how he has filled out recently, and that is definitely true. He's definitely filled out and is starting to develop the dewlap, but it's nothing like Tingana, who is a territorial male in the area who's very large. So for our viewers out there who watch us on a continuous basis, I don't know if you maybe want to put up a few of your wonderful little gifts that you do for any new viewers that might be out there who might want to see the difference between Hosana and Tingana. Can put that up maybe on the Twitter or on YouTube. Don't forget, we are live, we are interactive. Hashtag Safari Live on the Twitter or on the YouTube chat. And don't forget, if you're in the States, 14th of December during Big Cat Week on Nat Geo Wild, 10 o'clock Eastern, we're showing live for 2 hours on Nat Geo Wild. So you have to come. And I had to say it. We're with a big cat. We got to talk about Big Cat Week. So I'll say it again. Nat Geo Wild, Big Cat Week. It's here. Oh, it's Monday. It's here. Big Cat Week is here. And we are showing on the 14th of December, which is towards the end of the week. I think it's Friday for us, but it's Thursday in the States, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Oh, it's going to be amazing. I'm super excited. So let's hope Hosana's around for our Big Cat Week show. Now what he's doing is, because the rain started a little bit more and he's just walked through the wet grass, he's now cleaning the wet grass off of him. Our big cats don't like to get wet, but that being said, you can go to the Okavango Delta in Botswana and you get swimming lions. And I know the lions that you've been seeing with Jamie and Brent, the little rains and having torrential downpours. But for us, our cats here, not their favorite thing. Now, what's very interesting about them is that there is some difference in individual persons. This story, but for those of you that are new, friends of mine that work in the northern Timbavati had a male about this age who liked to dive into water and hunt catfish, hunt barbel, and pull them up. I see you. What a good question. You're asking, is this a leopard or is this a cheetah? So and are they the same thing? So leopard and cheetah are very different species. This is Panthera, is the fact that this cat has, he's just moved. Let me just move the car a little bit. It's going to be a bit easier because I want to show you some facial structure differences. And also this is going to be a bit of a better view. All right, so, we want to go, sorry, Senzo's asking if I can go just a little bit the other way. I can indeed, Sense, just hold on one sec. I just need to maneuver us a little bit. So, Snazzy, you want to know if animals' teeth get bad because if they don't get dental care. Snazzy, a lot of the bones that they eat and the way that they function as they get older, their teeth will get old and sometimes fall out. So I just want to go back to the cheetah leopard question with ICU. Do you see how with his face when he was just looking at us there that it's just dots and rosettes? Rosettes are little squiggly marks with a dark outside border and a light inside border. There's no quote-unquote tear mark. So a tear mark is black that goes from the inside of the eye and then down the side of the face. I also want you to notice when he looks again, the color of his eyes is a very light color. Cheetah have a darker color because they tend to hunt more during the middle of the day, and it just aids with that. But, you know, they also hunt at night and various other times, but they fill a bit of a niche. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my book very gingerly here, because we had a nice shot of Husana, and I just want to show you a cheetah quickly. Sorry, Sens. There we go. That works better. See those dark marks I'm talking about? And then there's the eye. And notice how clear the full face is of spots and rosettes. And then notice as you come down off the face into the body, it stays spots. It doesn't turn into rosettes. Okay. So we can head back to our live cat. He has some spots, but most of it's rosettes. And you can see that he has... There we go. There's a little bit of spotting, and then when he turns over, you'll see the rosettes, but they're not those clear dots. And then you can see all the markings up on the side of his face. Also, when he stands up, he's quite stocky as opposed to being long and lean, because he stalks his prey. I just seen now that Senzo has this silly little branch that's in the way. So I just want to reposition a bit, because if you all want a screenshot, and you know I love when you take screenshots, I would like it to not have that little branch. I'm going to try like this, and I'm hoping that works out a bit better. I know you all love our little Prince of Djuma. That's beautiful. So if I could take out all those little sticks, the tiny little ones in front of his face, I would, but it's better than that big one. Wonderful grooming patterns there. Getting all of the moisture off. Now, it looked earlier like he was interested in hunting something, but I think a lot of the movement he was seeing had to do with birds as opposed to any impala or nyala that's around. Let's just listen for a moment. Are we able to hear the bird sounds and everything? Or is it just a little bit too far off today? Might be a little bit too far off today. Emily, you're curious to know if the big cats mate with their siblings, or tends pushing it a bit, but they can do. And that's with mom, dad, brother, sister, son, daughter. I mean, they go all out. Leopards, this is very interesting. So he hasn't found, this little leopard we're looking at now, Husana, he has not found his territory yet. He is still within parts of his natal territory, so his mom's territory, and then sort of branching out a little bit. Now, what's very interesting about him is that he interacts quite often with his father, who I believe is Tingana, as far as I know. And that is actually quite a normal occurrence, where as they reach about 2 years old, this little male moves away from his mom so his mom can have more cubs, if she's still alive. It depends on the scenario, but we're just going to go with not necessarily Husana right now, but just leopards in general, so that the mom can then have more cubs. Then sometimes what happens is the father comes in and sort of takes over a little bit to assist in the growing up of the male. It doesn't happen in every single leopard population. You tend to see it a little bit more in either very densely populated areas or in very low populated areas. Used to do some leopard research with a researcher in Namibia, and this is just a little tail end thing that she picked up. And you see Husana and Tingana interacting with each other often. Okay. Then after he reaches about sort of 4 years old, sometimes a little bit earlier, but about 4, and he's big enough, he's going to start finding a territory of his own. Now, what might happen is his father's territory might be open by then, or his father might be old enough that he can beat up his father and then take it over. Or he might move hundreds of miles or hundreds of kilometers or tens of kilometers or tens of miles, depending on the scenario, and find either an open favorite male. Mvula is one of our large male territorial leopards that I've seen on and off for the past sort of 5, 6, 7 years. But Husana is very pretty. I enjoy him very much. He's going to be a big, beautiful male. I can hear elephants in the background playing at the dam. Hello, little Husana. I'm going to leave beautiful prints. And again, guys, if you have more questions about the wild dogs or comments or concerns or anything like that, please send them through. I'm very happy to talk about them. Happy to talk about most anything with everybody, especially while we're sitting here with a beautiful leopard who is grooming himself. I think what we'll do is we're going to stay with him for a while. And then we might go back to the dam with the elephants and then head up for the wild dog. But as I'm saying this, Tristan has more elephants. So let's head on over to him and see what his Ellies are up to. Bushwalk, but it is nice that you got to show everyone with the maps just exactly where we're talking about. It's nice for a contextual purpose. I know for me it makes my job a little bit easier, so thank you very much, darling. All right, so Husana has groomed himself and is now laying in the wet soil, in the wet grass, and having a snooze. I'm assuming it might have something to do with a little bit of a diker that he ate yesterday, that anyone was watching yesterday afternoon saw with Tristan. Here he is from us. He's a very relaxed male. His mom was relaxed, so he's relaxed with us. He is maybe 8 meters from us. Yeah, you can see there. And he's very happy with where we are and what we're doing and our presence. And I'm speaking in a normal level voice, and he has no scum with allowing us into his world. I've been guiding for quite a while, and it still amazes me that we are able to watch these creatures and not necessarily interact, but be part of the natural environment in which they live without too many issues at all. I mean, everyone's bubble is different on every single day. His bubble today is very small, and it is allowing us some very nice views. Now, something that is also nice to point out here is with this green grass, and because we can physically see him, we can see that he does have camouflaged fur, but that the white underneath is poking out a bit more. So with thick bushes, it's sometimes harder to find leopard because they'll hide behind the bush or in tall grass. But when it's green like this, it's sometimes easier to see the cats. I know for me, with lions this time of year, it's easier to see them. Now, a lion is much bigger than this little leopard here. Cheetah I haven't seen in months, but cheetah would be a similar thing as well. And then when it comes into the dry season, our winter season, and everything turns very brown, they hide a lot better and camouflage a lot better without having to duck down. Their colors really blend in. Steve, what an interesting question. You're curious to know if a male leopard will ever take over a female leopard's territory. Now, Steve, in my experience and in my readings, I've never heard of that. Usually what will happen is you'll have a male leopard's territory, and within his territory, there will be lots of love into those ladies and have his genetic material carry on into future generations. Now, that being said, just as a thought to ponder, if, let's say, a female leopard died and another female leopard didn't come in to take over, and he didn't have that as part of his territory, he might expand into it, but that doesn't mean that he wouldn't then allow another female to come in, if that makes sense. He wants those females there. It's an interesting thought. He doesn't want other boys. He wants all the ladies to himself. We have another vehicle that might be joining us, just in case anyone hears any sounds from a car coming in. Just so you know, we do share our sightings with the other lodges and other guests that are around. So you all get to sit in your warm, comfy, either offices or homes, and view the way that Senzo and I are viewing. So we do need to share, unfortunately. But yes, it's quite a thrill. It's just as much of a thrill being here as it is being at home. And picture is I'm looking at my little monitor in the car at the moment, and the quality of the picture is basically like being here in real life. It's what you're seeing right now is actually better than what I can see. I would have to nice if you moved a little bit. This is what we call... When they do move, it's slow at first in stalking, and then it's a burst of energy. But he's definitely conserving what little energy he has at the moment. Now, that being said, I would like to know from all of you, would you like to stay with Husana, or shall we head on up somewhere else? Let me know, hashtag Safari Live on Twitter or on YouTube chat. Steve, you're curious to know, do leopards get along with cheetah? Steve, predators don't like each other. No predator likes each other at all. They have territories that will be similar territories, and when they're territorial, any species is territorial against another individual of his own species. But if this leopard were to come across a cheetah, he would not be very happy. Ooh, my friend Tristan has another leopard. Let's go on over to him quickly. Hosana just got up and started chasing these impala. He almost got one, but they managed to get away. It happened within, I don't know, half a second. I can't even say, not even half a second. And now you can hear the impala in the background. Oh, it was a near miss. It was a near miss. So he was about 10 foot from us, maybe possibly more. And then these impala came through, had no idea that he was here, and he was up, and he almost got this baby impala. And as you can see, he's a little bit upset that he's missed it. Look at those ears back. He's very annoyed. Oh, I'm so sorry we didn't manage to catch it for you on camera. It was very, very, very quick. He's definitely in the move. Let's go back to Tristan. Sorry, Tristan. Go back to Tani. Maybe she makes the kill. Oh my goodness. So Hosana heard a baby elephant calling and has now weaved his way through a herd of about 20 elephants, and is now lying down in the grass and just trying to... I don't know what he's trying to do. I think he was just super curious, and that's why he did what he did. But these elephants are all around him, and they're not paying attention at all. It's very different from, say, what would happen if this was a lion. Those elephants would have gone crazy. I've got 2 other vehicles in the sighting with me, so you are going to see them. I'm going to have to move just a little bit when he moves past us. Sorry, we are in our cave, and I'm going to do our best to meander as best as I can without hitting any trees. There we go. Are you okay there? We can maybe try. I'm going to have to move a little bit more again. Sorry, everybody. It's tricky, this maneuvering. Excuse the vehicle for a second there. There we are. Perfect. There he is. Out in the open for us. I'm just, it's absolutely amazing. There was even a small little baby elephant that's with this herd, a tiny little elephant that's probably only a couple of days old, that he would be very capable of taking down. And I think that's why he was so interested. And now that the whole herd has sort of come around, even though they're not paying too much attention to him, he's sort of given up on trying anything. But you can see the little tip to his tail is jiggling around, so he's definitely interested. I just don't think he knows exactly what he's going to do. So sorry, we've got another vehicle that's going to be moving in front of us, so just hold on for a second. Sorry about that, everybody. We are only going to be able to stay with Hosana for another couple of minutes before we have to give space and head on. So I'm going to do my best to get us a spectacular last little view of him. Excuse the back of my head. Here we go. And then we'll take another little gander, and then unfortunately we have to be on our way. But how exciting, and how exciting was that little sighting of Tundi we had. Here we go, here he comes. Now he's pretending that the elephants never had anything to do with anything and just smelling around and looking beautiful. Now notice when he's moving around, he's not really scent marking. He's just investigating. He doesn't have a territory yet. If this was Tingana, there would be a little bit of scent marking possibly going on, or even Tundi. Tundi's territorial. By spraying urine, as well as rubbing his face onto the branches to put his scent there. Oh, he's thinking about maybe going up that tree, hopefully. That would be lovely. It's interesting how dedicated he was to coming towards these sounds of this baby elephant, and now he's so unsure of himself. Sorry, Sent? Senso says he's posing for all of you. He's totally posing for you. Now you can see his belly's a bit full from that diker. So it's also another possibility that all of the excitement and then his full belly is stopping him from performing in absolute leopard spectacular behavior, because the heavier they are, it is a little bit harder to maneuver around. But he was interested in those impala, and then that distress call of the baby elephant severely piqued his attention. So it wouldn't surprise me if he makes a kill today. So Tristan was talking about how this very, very light rain assists in the hunting and masks the sounds. It's very true. I think that's also one of the reasons why he was able to get in and see the inside of this elephant herd so precisely, is because there's hardly any wind. There's a little bit of rain. It's masking not only his sound but also his scent. Now, interestingly enough, there is a young male elephant that's coming down the road. So I think that is going to push, and as I say that there Husana moves off, I think that's going to push him away. And unfortunately, we have reached the end of our time that we're going to be able to stay with him. So I hope you all enjoyed our magical sighting with Husana. And I'm unfortunately going to have to move on from here and let someone else come in and enjoy this breathtaking leopard sighting. Ooh, there's another way to tell that's a male leopard. You see the yellow under the tail? Those are the testicles, and the fur around the outside the testicles shows yellow there. So for any of our new viewers, oh, he might go up this tree. Sorry, guys. I'm going to... Oh, now the elephant's coming. Let me just move back just a bit for in case we get any action. I don't want to move too much closer to that other vehicle because I don't want to impede on either animal's ability to interact or not interact with each other. Yeah, he's watching this elephant and also watching the tree and deciding. This elephant's moving on. I do think that Husana wants to climb into this tree, so I think I'm going to push our sighting for just another minute, because if he does climb up this tree, it's going to be spectacular. Oh, but quickly before he makes his mind up, let's go up to Brent and the Masai Mara.